Hi, my name is Nuno Pimenta. I've been a singer for the last 8 years, and my goal is to help you sing better, easier, and healthier. In this video, I'm gonna talk a bit about stress and how it affects our body. After that, I'm gonna give you 5 tips on how to reduce that impact on your body before and during a performance. Finally, if you watch till the end of the video, I'm gonna give you one extra tip that will help you the next time you're put under stress as a singer. So, how does stress affect our body? There's a thing called flight or fight response, or stress response, and it's a physiological reaction that occurs in response to a perceived threat or danger, aka a stressful situation. Well, the purpose of this response is in itself good, because it enables the body to take action quickly and is intended to keep us out of harm's way. However, it also occurs when we are not in any physical danger, but we are still experiencing stress. Now for some actual physical changes that may occur during this response, and see if any of these ring any bells to you. Heart rate increases, blood pressure increases, blood sugar or glucose levels rise, respiration rate increases, muscles tense up, perspiration increases, aka sweat, pupils dilate. So at the moment you're probably thinking, well, that's not very good for me, is it? Yeah, it really doesn't help, in most cases. However, although this response is in itself subconscious, meaning that you have only a measure of control on when and where it happens, you still have that measure of control. And that's where these tips come in, that's where we can work. Our subconscious mind forms decisions based on our experiences, insecurities, worries, etc. It stands to reason that, if we work those out the best we can, we should reduce the amount of stress we feel and the number of times we feel it. We're not trying to eliminate stress, just to deal with it, reduce it, or even accept it, however we can. Bear in mind that every person deals with stress in a different way, and these are tips that worked for me and should work for most cases. So, for our first tip, we must trust our technique to know what to do when the time comes. A lot of times what happens is, at classes or at home, we're doing our vocal exercises, we're practicing our songs, everything is the best we've ever done, and we're somewhat proud of what we're doing. Then the time comes and... Wait, what? Why can't I breathe? Why am I rigid all of a sudden? My technique has gone AWOL. Well, that's expected really. Remember that your respiration rate increased and your muscles are tense, so it's kinda normal that your technique has more obstacles than you're used to. However, not everything is lost. Although your technique can be affected and you lose some of the control you usually have, you can still surpass those obstacles if you trust your technique and all your training to do what it knows how to do with the amount of control you still have over your singing system. Therefore, if you work hard on improving that technique, the effects that those physical changes have on your singing will be reduced gradually, even to a point where it's not at all noticeable by anyone else. And as a bonus prize, knowing this may in itself reduce the amount of stress that you feel before and during the performance. Now, for our second tip, it's somewhat close to home, and it's about owning your song, knowing it by heart. Have you ever felt stressed because you're not sure you know the lyrics? I have. And what about that part of the melody with all the twists and turns? You know it exists, but have you actually practiced it? Knowing a song by heart doesn't only mean knowing its lyrics and melody. You also have to know it by heart when it comes to your technique and how it applies to each section, each word, each note, each feeling, etc. By completely knowing your song, you can be sure that whatever happens during your performance, you'll know how to deal with it. Even if one instrument goes rogue and skips the whole section, or a duet partner starts singing your part, or doesn't know how to sing his, you know exactly what happened, you adapt to the situation, and no one's the wiser. This feeling of certainty, of security, can help you with reducing your anticipation stress due to doubt or the what-ifs that are always there trying to nag their way into your focus and distract us from what's really important, the moment. And so, our third tip is more about trying to trick your mind about forgetting the stress you're feeling and focus on the moment. As you know, every song has a story, a message that you want to convey. To do this correctly, you must first accomplish the previous tip. After knowing your song by heart, you can then dive into it. During a performance, you are the song, its story, its message, its character. You're not yourself, not at the moment. If you focus on doing that, you'll start to notice that your stress reduces a bit. Part of it goes into the back of your mind. It's not gone, you're just too busy to be bothered by it. So if this video is bringing you any value, do press the like button, as it will really help me and the channel reach more singers like you. Now, for our fourth tip, let's talk about support and relaxation before and during the performance. As you should already know, breath is the most important component of singing. However, breathing techniques are also used for relaxing your body and refocusing your mind. Therefore, before a performance, do breathing exercises in order to activate your muscles to get them ready for singing and more easily accessible. Do deep breathing exercises to lower your stress levels, your pre-show anxiety. During a performance, focus on correctly breathing to support your technique. Use that to recenter yourself, to refocus on the moment. Between singing parts, for example during instrumental parts, if you can, do deep breaths to help with lowering your stress and getting back control of your breathing system. It's also always important to focus on relaxing your abdominal wall, your abdominal muscles, to help with your breathing. If you can control your breathing technique correctly, that's halfway to getting back your singing technique, which helps a lot in reducing the impact of your stress in your singing. As our fifth tip, you are your greatest judge and executioner. Our mind is an expert on putting us down. Our lack of self-esteem goes into play and our mind goes into a cycle of what can go wrong, what everyone else is thinking about it, how everyone's gonna hate my performance, how they'll know I didn't reach that note, how they obviously know that I was off pitch most of the time, and more importantly, how everyone knows the lyrics by heart and noticed I didn't sing that word in the middle of the third verse. Well, no surprise there. We think too much about these things, and then we talk to our friends and they say, well, it was perfect, it was amazing, whoa, you're amazing. Sure, there are always people out there that are going to notice if we don't reach that note or don't finish that part with the intended vibrato or whatever else. But I assure you that you are going to be the one thinking the worst about your performance. This is natural because you know exactly how you want it to sound, and you also know your weaknesses, your lack of memory. So do yourself a favor and try to think less about what others will think, enjoy the moment, and then give yourself an objective evaluation. And surprise, surprise, that brings us to our bonus tip. After your performance, be objective in your evaluation. See it as an opportunity to improve, not to criticize. This is something I learned in a singing academy I'm currently attending called Vocal Emotion. Our teachers taught us that we should look at performance evaluation objectively in order to put an end to evaluations like, you suck, damn, that was awful, that was your worst ever. First of all, was it actually bad? And why do you say so? In what part? Second, was it all bad? What parts were good? And why were they good? And third, which parts can you improve and how should you work on it? So, comment your performance as an outside observer. Be objective, be thorough, be structured, and always look at the bad parts as improvement opportunities. I'll be making a future video about a possible structure for your own performance evaluation as an outside observer. So, if you want to learn more about how to sing better, easier, and healthier, please subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon to receive notifications about future videos. That's it for this video. I hope it helped you better understand what stress is, how it affects your body, how that affects your singing, and how can you deal with it. Keep on singing and share with us your progress, your videos in the comments below. We'd love to see them. See you in the next video.